fix errors on your report and how to build credit, things like that. We learned from Charles about how, let's say you're swimming in debt and you're not actually even able to pay your bills because you have so much going to your credit card debt, how to maybe use that as a solution. Again, it's not for everybody. It's in special cases where the person really needs that specific help. So today we're going to talk about something called debt stacking. So what do you do when you sit down with a client where they actually make okay income, their bills are average bills, and they have a little bit extra, but they do want to pay off their debt? So we usually do something called debt stacking. So debt stacking is using their own money. We're not paying off the debt at any kind of a settlement, anything like that. It's you owe X amount, you pay off X amount, but the strategy of how you pay it saves you time and money. So this is our website. This is the financialrevolution.com website. So you can have the client go here, you can go here yourself, to help a client, or for your personal finances, you can actually go to this website. So it's financialrevolution.com. You don't have to sign in for this part. You scroll down to the bottom and you click Debt Calculator, okay? So I've already entered some stuff, so it's the exact same thing. So once you click Debt Calculator, this shows up. So let's say we have, I'm actually gonna, where'd Jonathan go? Can you darken that for like 30 seconds? So how debt stacking works. Okay. Let's say we have a husband and a wife. So we have a 35-year-old husband and a 35-year-old wife. So these are actually clients of mine. So he works in construction. She works as a school teacher. So together, their net income is $60,000 a year. So that means that their monthly income is $5,000. So with their bills and everything, it was only about $4,000. So they have $1,000 discretionary. Everybody with me so far?
Yep.
With their debt, I think the numbers might be a little bit different in there. But with their debt, they have like 450 that has to go to the minimums. But they want to get out of debt faster. So we use some of the money for long-term savings and some of the money for short-term savings. But one of the biggest things on their mind right now is debt. So we were going to do an extra $300 to pay off their debt because it's a really important thing to them. So how debt stacking works, I'm old school, I like to draw things out. So here's what works. Okay, so let's say we have like 4 credit cards. Most people pay off their credit cards emotionally. So let's say this is a Visa, this is a MasterCard, this is Amex. What's another credit card?
Discover.
Okay. So let's say this one we owe $500, this one we owe $750, this one we owe $1,000, and this one we owe $1,500. Let's say the minimums, just for the sake of numbers, are all the same. Let's say they're all $50. So between what they have to pay is $200, right? But most people are paying emotionally. So they have a little bit of money extra that they want to put towards their debt. So what they're going to do is they're going to do a little bit extra to all of these. That's what I used to do. I've come across countless clients who do the same thing because we just don't know any better. So debt stacking is paying, instead of doing an extra 50 here, extra 50 here, extra 50 here, extra 50 here, instead of doing 400 with a little bit of extras, what you do is you do the minimum here, the minimum here, the minimum here, and then you do the lowest balance, and you actually use all the extra there. So let's say we're sticking with the minimums here, we're not defaulting on our credits, we're not putting ourselves points, things like that, we're still paying the minimum. But now if we have 150 going to minimums, out of that 400 we were already paying, now how much goes here? 250, which means after 2 months, this credit card's already gone. So then we still do the 50 here and the 50 here. So now if I'm only doing 100 between the minimums on this one, and I'm still doing 400 towards my debt, now how much goes here? 300. So after just a few more months, this one's gone. And then same thing. So now if I have 50 here, I can do 350 here. After a couple more months, that one's gone, right? So I'm going to show you guys an actual example. It doesn't work. Thank you, Dantes. I don't know what we would do without Dantes and Alan. Okay, so this basically explains how it works. So what you do is you simply enter their credit information. So I like to do it in order because it doesn't actually do it for you. So what you do is I enter it lowest balance to highest balance, right? So for them, they had a Visa where they owed $500 at 15%, and they had to pay $50. Then they had a Best Buy where they owed $17.50, had to pay 16%, and the minimum was $50. So you get the gist. So this is the credit cards that they have. This is what they owe, what the interest rate is, and what their minimum is. So let's say they have to pay $425, but they are able to put a little bit extra towards their debt. So whatever the extra is, you put here. And you can actually change whether you want to do the lowest balance first or the highest interest rate first. So you can play with this. More often than not, lowest balance, even if it's high interest rates, is actually faster, but you can play with the numbers and see what it says. So we're going to stick with lowest balance. So what we're going to do is we're going to pay off the Visa first. We're going to pay the minimums on all the others, and then the extra $300 is going to go towards the Visa. Does everybody get the concept?
Yep.
Cool. So then you click next. So what it shows us is doing it the debt stacking way. So doing that extra $300 or whatever extra money we were doing anyway, but instead of distributing it through all the cards, focusing on one card, either the lowest balance or the highest interest rate, doing it the way they've been doing it, they'll be out of debt by September of 2021. Using the debt stacking way, same money, same cards, different strategy, they're going to be out of debt by November of 2018. So by next November, they're actually going to be debt free. So what did we save them? We saved them 2 years and 10 months, so almost 3 years of paying credit cards every month, and we're going to save them almost $1,000. But also what that means is, let's go back, in basically a year and a half, so next November, well less than a year and a half, 425 that was going to the minimums and 300 extra that they were using to pay off their debt can now be converted into $725 for savings. So do you think we helped out these people? Amazing. So we have so many different solutions for people. So we have debt stacking, where they can afford to pay off their debt. They're even doing a little bit extra, but we're going to do it this way. Then we help people where they're drowning in debt, where, let's say, Duncan's going to hate it. Let's say we have a family. Is there a button I can push? I'm done with this.
Yeah, done.
For being a millennial, computers frustrate me. I'm not hip with PowerPoint, I don't know how to work any of that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's say we have someone where their income is $60,000 and their bills, so their income is $5,000, but their bills are $4,000 plus $1,500 to debt. So what that means is now that they're going to be negative $500 each month, right?
Yeah.
Or let's say that their income is $5,000 and their bills are $4,000, but they're even if their credit that they owe is $1,000 each month, it means that they're netting zero. So the Debt America stuff makes sense if they have absolutely no money free to save, to get themselves covered, things like that. But if they have enough money to pay their bills and to have a little bit extra where they're still saving long term, they're still saving short term, but they still want to get out of debt, debt stacking is an amazing thing. So does anybody have any questions about debt stacking?